dollar just dey get the higher power over naira. Still dem talk say make we off mind, but thank God say Mayegun don come. So my people make you loud down, yo yo. Mayegun don come, oh yo yo. My people make we shout, oh yo yo. Mayegun don come, oh yo yo. Mayegun don come, man of the masses, oh yo yo. Mayegun don come, oh yo yo. Mayegun diary politico, oh yo yo. Mayegun don come, oh yo yo. This one not dey off in mind, oh yo yo. Mayegun don come, oh yo yo. Person wey dey do evil no wan make person talk. Them say that Mayegun, that man too dey talk. He too dey talk. Say Mayegun diary, he dey hot like pepper. But every day, then they take money in bulk. Woman pikin dey the street dey hawk. Still them talk say make we no talk. But thank God say Mayegun don come. So my people make you loud, oh yo yo. Mayegun don come, oh yo yo. My people make you shout, oh yo yo. Mayegun don come, oh yo yo. Mayegun don come, man of the masses, oh yo yo. Mayegun don come, oh yo yo. Mayegun diary politico, oh yo yo. Mayegun don come, oh yo yo. This man not dey off in mind. Mayegun làwa mọ̀ làmọ̀ tó dodo.
Hello there.
Mayegun làwa mọ̀ làmọ̀ tó dodo.
Good morning to you, good afternoon to you, and good evening to you from wherever you are watching from. And this is Mayegun Live.
Lórí Facebook, lórí YouTube. Mayegun diary, Mayegun number one. Gbogbo bó ṣe ń lọ ni Mayegun já wa sí. Mayegun diary, Mayegun number one. Àṣírí ọ̀jẹ̀lú kì í bò níbẹ̀ o. Mayegun diary, Mayegun number one. Bó bá ṣe eré, àní Mayegun máa wí. Mayegun diary, Mayegun number one. Ó sì tún ṣe eré wàá gbọ́ níbẹ̀ o. Mayegun diary, Mayegun number one. Mayegun diary politico. Mayegun diary, Mayegun number one. Godfatherism.
Thank you very much for joining me. Share this broadcast. Invite your friends. Invite your not so friendly friends and tell them that Mayegun today. Take a moment and like this broadcast as you are joining. Subscribe if this is your first time. And then, read the caption, read the description, and possibly get ready to participate in the conversation too. But share it first. Yeah.
Lórí Facebook. And yes, we like.
And we are competing with armed robbers and the bandits to recruit from the youths who are unemployed. 33% unemployed. Recruit 50 million youths into the army and the other thing. Take away from their recruitment source. What they will eat? Cassava, àgbàdo, corn in the morning, yam in the afternoon. It's growing here. You create demand and consumption. For over 5 million army of boot camps. We create our food. That's money for the farmers. That's consumption for the soldiers and skill development. Don't call them by illiterate. Don't talk about illiteracy. Anybody who can own gun, who can handle gun, who can cock gun and clean the chamber and cock and shoot is technically competent to repair a tractor in the farm.
Do you know that naturally, right? Or should I say, is it naturally? Not naturally. I mean, that's not the right word I wanted to use. Like normally, maybe let's say normally, yeah. If you speak about Tinubu's frailness or his sickly nature, and then his incoherent statements and all that, some people think it's like a personal attack on the man. But when I probed further, I kind of get more convinced that somehow, right, despite all of this incapacitation that Tinubu is suffering from, the people popping him out there, somehow, in order to justify whatever they stand to benefit or they are benefiting now, they continue to make it easier to see through the emptiness of this Tinubu and the bat idiots. Like Dele Farotimi said, the Buhari idiots, the Buhari diddins, the Buhari deans somehow are transforming to the bat idiots. But somehow I believe that they continue to set him up, even as much as they are trying to shield him from public scrutiny. I am still kind of convinced. Because if not, yeah, Tinubu is in London right now with the Babariga mobile banking CEO, Gandola of Kano. Even the Olepompos budget of Olepompos Peri, the little Hitler from Cross River, Ayade, and others like that, they were in London to come and convince, probably another setup to come and, I don't know, but I mean, they are here to come and tell us what they have for you, the Nigerians, which obviously we know. Apart from the fact that they will read from the script, if we read it from the script, the moment you begin to ask him questions and he has to like speak on his own, then it is going to be a free fall. But that is the man himself. If you corner him and you ask him questions, you may probably get so confused yourself at some point. But what happened to those who are like working overtime to prove Tinubu that people knows, to prove, to prove him right in a different way, like to try to whitewash him. In the process of trying to whitewash Tinubu, when Tinubu speak his jargons, when he speak his nonsense, what happened? They started interpreting for him. Lately, we discovered that Tinubu is now senile and incoherent, by the way, caused by dementia, right? However, they are now making us realize that we are the dumb ones who have no idea of what Tinubu is talking about because we are dumb. Now, Tinubu speaks in the language of the gods. That if he says something and you begin to be like, what was that? What is he saying? I don't understand. You are going to see an educated weary that is going to turn interpreter, more like bamboozle zombies. Have you not noticed that? But in the process, trying to prove what is not, what has been proved many times, and they have fell flat on their faces, right? In their way of struggling to prove this and that, they continue to push lies that in my own book continue to set Tinubu up. Abi, which one is this again? Normal. Educated people, or should I say, not all educated people anyway. Normally educated people, right, should know that even as much as Tinubu was indicted and then he made a deal, in that deal, he was able to part with some, all that stuff, right? Legally, he is still allowed to go to America. Even upon all of that, The fact that he is the candidate of the major political party in Nigeria, he will be allowed something they call, even if he has any case at all, he will be allowed to go anywhere, even America, until they feel like we don't want you. Do you understand that now? We don't want you, don't come here. They won't grant him anything. Then, just 2 days ago, when Tinubu was about to bail on you, the Nigerians who were looking forward to their town hall meeting, where you have Obi, Atiku, and then Kwakwanso and the rest, right? Well, 3 of them. Anyway, they were expecting Tinubu as well. They bailed on them. They arranged a talk show, sort of, for him in London. In other words, to allow him to see his own doctors too, like Bokwari, that can quickly use that moment that is in UK now to get something we call the battery recharge. It's not really about that talk. You know that. Then the rumor came and they said, America denied Tinubu visa. Aha! Immediately I saw it. I knew it was the handiwork of Tinubu and gang, so that they can come out later and say, well, look at his visa. So that didn't emanate from anywhere other than them. Some of you sometimes don't really sort of pay attention, so to say, to the origin of some of the rumors that you help them push, only to come back, for them to call it a comeback for Tinubu. But when you now look deeper, you will realize that even in their whatever desperation that pushed the rumor, they didn't seem to have perfected the plan well. How? We woke up this morning, and the first thing that was staring me my face on Twitter was the copy of Tinubu's American visa page. Okay. You remember that Atiku, when Obasanjo said Atiku cannot go to America because he is wanted in America, right? That is true. Not that Atiku himself is wanted directly, but he is mentioned in court cases that have seen so many people sent to jail for the corruption that were linked to him. People who took money on behalf of people for Atiku. But Atiku won't gamble it until the coast is clear, paying a lot of money to go there. Are you with me? But however, Festus Otobo Keyamo, trying to dispel the rumor that Tinubu is not denied American visa. I don't know what American visa look like until I see this. And immediately people started pointing things out. The forgery, the fakery. And it is the fakery is not really in this. Not all of them are not really on this image you have on your screen. Are you with me? They are in the information that is behind this printed page. The first one is this. In the INEC form, remember I said that sometimes I feel like they just deliberately want to set him up. Set him up for dragging, set him up for all these things because they know they are safe for the money that they are getting now or the position they are promised if he becomes their president. This is a big fraud, a calamity that is not in anybody's good, okay? Now, in their desperation to dispel the copy of this visa, which people believe that is forged, okay? Like it's forged. The original visa with this information expired in 2020, year 2020. But you see, the issue date on this one, which is all right if you say, okay, well, the issue date or the renewal was done a year after 2021, 2-year visa to 2023. But there is no record of this date of this visa on the American consulate websites where you can verify the authenticity of your visa just by picking up the visa, what we call the control number. Do you get that now? Now, some people did some digging in the back end to prove that the information on this page does not correspond with the number, which is actually the visa itself. If you type the number into anything on their website, it will bring the details of the bearer and the expiration of that visa, right? And some people did. Okay, take a look at this. The details that actually corresponds with everything on that visa page that I just shown you now is what you have here, which expired as far back as September, the 14th of September, 2020. This is, and listen, this is not like, I'm not saying that he couldn't have done a renewal. Listen, let's assume that another renewal is done and it was granted, fine. But how do you know that the number on this visa, just like your passport number, okay? Your passport number, look at that passport number. That's the Nigerian passport number, right? On the left, under his name. Now, that passport number, yeah, if you type it into the Nigerian data system, like their immigration or whatever system, it's going to bring out your data. That is your data page information. It's going to bring everything out. Your name, your date of birth, where your passport is issued, your sex, everything. Do you understand that now? Now, that same thing on the top right called control number. That one is issued because this is a visa page, or it's not a passport page, or visa page. Now, you see that top one control number. If you now go to the American consulate, like American embassy or American, immigration website to verify your visa, that's the number you're going to type in. Okay. Now, you see that number. When you type it in there, it showed up as this. Yeah. That is a visa that was issued a while back. Now, let us take another leap forward. In what I said, I believe they deliberately setting Tinubu up. Not that it's going to have any real effect because it's Nigeria. But at the same time, when it does have that effect, you can possibly look inward too, in my own opinion, right? So, now let's say all of those ones are not really anything, okay? They don't matter. You know, F the visa, F this, F that, okay? But on this same visa page, with the documents that is probably he has with, or he uses with the American Immigration Service, right? Which have issued him visas many times in his life. Their record now shows that Tinubu was born in 1952. Yeah, that's another one, talking about setting him up. 1952. But when you look at the INEC document is submitted, the INEC document is submitted, stated that Tinubu was born in March 1954. Now, talking about perjury and desperation to just build something on nothing, okay? I am saying this right now, and pointing this out is because it's already out there. It's not new. It's not something that is being cooked right now, okay? This contradiction, legally alone, could see him go to jail if Nigeria was a country. But who are those behind all of this? Who are putting all this out other than his own people who are trying to prove something? Remember, they were the same people who were trying to prove that Tinubu's 12-year-old picture was the same picture of Donald Duke. Why do you have to sort of, in your desperation to prove something? They didn't just post that picture on social media. They pick up that picture on social media. They use the picture in his own biography, his childhood biography picture in his campaign manifesto. They didn't just print them. They published them on his campaign website until people started saying, this one Donald Duke now. So talking about setting him up. Again, if they didn't do it, we won't talk about them. If you are looking for the real enemies that I believe that some of you, the Lagos Abobakus, are looking for is mostly you, the hypocrites. The hypocrite who knows that nothing good is really going to come out of this whole thing, other than whatever is being promised you, or whatever you are benefiting right now, or whatever you stand to benefit. Sincerely, most of you are just following the bandwagon, something they call the mob. Why did they have to put that out? After photoshopping and all of that, after raising a rumor that, you know what I mean? Oh, if we say Tinubu has been denied the American visa, majority of people will be interested. Oh, they will be interested. No. Okay, a lot of people are interested. Now, let us prove them wrong that Tinubu can go to anywhere he wants. Do you really need a fake photoshopped document? In fact, in their circle, is there no one that is smart enough to pay attention to the details of what they're about to share to the public before they finally shared it, Abi? Now they've shared it only to further expose the man that is also demented. The reason why they will never let him, number one, have a proper interview. Number two, attend any debate. And number three, attend any event that is not coordinated by them, because it will further show what they are keeping. This was like a year ago.
Take one family member, two family members, knock on all doors, and make sure that new registration, because they may not announce to you on time, the BBC you have has expired. Yes. Yes.
Yes. PVC is permanent voters card. It doesn't expire. You only get to, if you misplace it, you get to what? You just get to go back and get a replacement for that plastic. But the sycophants, the ass lickers, boot lickers, all risers, your motivational speakers on social, those who are telling you today that your future is going to be bright in the hand of a man that is this demented. They said, yes, now, yes, it's true.
Take one family member, two family members, knock on all doors, and make sure that new registration, because they may not announce to you on time, the BBC you have has expired. Yes. Yes. You need to spread it around in various local government wards and no matter how difficult it is. To me, I look at it closely, and you look at other elections being held, you see that it's diminishing because those cards expired, and they didn't. It's mandatory that you go and register and able to vote and achieve your aspirations. May God bless you and bless Nigeria.
So this is what I'm talking about. Now, when I say that, I don't want to pretend that is cool. It's not even funny. It's not funny. Some of you may just laugh and all that. That is why, when I see those who are popping him and pushing and all that, all I see is just the fact that, but if that weary is rich, he go get family, just like you have the bad idiots. One of the things that you would tell in this game of their politics is the fact that it's actually not about you, the people. Even the people themselves, it's not about them. It is about revalidating the licenses of their slavery through whoever they wish to call their slave master whenever they want to. in what they call democracy. So to say, hypocrites is speaking the language of the gods. Tomorrow in London, in the Chatham House in London, like they organized for Bokwari too, where Bokwari told the people that if they gave him Nigeria, they can go to bed and sleep, right? And today, Bokwari is the president. Everybody have lost sleep, including Olaiya Igwe, who couldn't sleep anymore and asking for the next of the next devil to come and rescue them. That's how bad it has become. And when you look at the head, and you just be like, oh my God, is there something that you could probably pick on? Nothing really. Channels Television knows right to this clip, and the credit goes to them. It's a flashback. Maybe you can be motivated too.
Yes, I want to be president. For what? Is it for Eba? Is it for Gary? Is it for beans? I want to be president for you. Drive me there. We feel your angers when you are angry. I don't blame you. The promises of the past have failed to realize that you build the future from the onset, from the kindergarten. We cannot continue the lamentation of the past. If you have no people.
Just for a moment. For those of you who are listening to this, the man speaking is the candidate of the ruling party in Nigeria right now. So don't think he's an opposition. He's not. He's one of the key instruments that brought in the calamity called APC. Okay? So he's running, and everything he's saying, don't think he's talking outside. He's part of the entire system. And that is why he said he's running. Is he for Dodo? Is he for Gary? Or is he for Eba? No. He said it's for you, the impoverished Nigerians.
Yes, I want to be president. For what? Is it for Eba? Is it for Gary? Is it for beans? I want to be president for you. Drive me there. We feel your angers when you are angry. I don't blame you. The promises of the past have failed to realize that you build the future from the onset, from the kindergarten. We cannot continue the lamentation of the past. If you have no PVC, if you have no revalidation of that PVC, you don't know whether it has expired. Yeah, don't forget that there is expiry date or even on your cash points. So go and revalidate the cards. Those of you who have not registered must go there. You can't be part of 1.4 billion people on Instagram and have no card. For God's sake. We cannot continue with excuses on NEPA failure. No nation can make a development, rapid development, without electricity. Give us that. And if we cannot be successful, yes, you can abuse us. But you cannot give us erratic electricity that is undependable and then blame us again that we are lazy. No! We have enough gas to fire up our electricity. We can supply the rest of Europe with gas and we can make money. Money long term. When I started, we used to pick dead bodies on the street. Today, Lagos is one of the cleanest, one of the most progressive states. Yeah. We deserve your clap. Some of you will not have been able to sit for WAEC if not for the payment of WAEC fee by our government. You are a beneficiary. Clap for that. And you must vote.
So it's like a grandpa with dementia, remembering all he did. I bought a WAEC form for some of you. We used to pick dead body on the street of Lagos. Today, Lagos is is demented. Lagos is the dirtiest city to live in the whole world. Lagos is also rated as the the most unsafe city to raise a child in the whole world. I know, don't be me talk. Go and check it. Go and Google it. But it's demented. Now, we didn't remember last in the talk. You must vote. It's not me. It is what I see that I am actually reacting to. And what I am saying is so sick that, when people begin to try to twist it and begin to try to make it like, now maybe the dumb one, we no understand the language of the gods. For example, talking about electricity. And then at the same time, making a deposit for the roasted corn. Things that just don't match. These are the public things that Kolu expressed. They are personally, this is what I've seen, and you can't change that. And when I look at how desperate people around him are trying to make it look like, now we know what's with the talk, the more they try to, the other they walk, the flatter they fall. Because in their reaction lies the other gap, the other exposure, the other weakness, the other vulnerability, and so many other things that they are trying to patch. And most sadly, the other fraud. Could you make a sense of this? A quick one.
They spent more than $60 billion. They forget that transmission line is a super highway for generated electricity and power. They could not even make a down payment for a roasted corn for that electricity.
Does that make any sense to you? I'm looking for a clip. I hope I still have the clip. And I can ask you to make a tiny, just a little bit comparison. So, okay, I have a bit of it. And it's this particular one.
Livestock.
Huh?
Livestock.
National livestock.
I would talk about it. He doesn't know. He doesn't. I think he doesn't know.
These are all directed at Mr. President. So corruption, yes, let me know. He can talk for
He
himself.
doesn't know. He doesn't know.
I want Nigerians to give you another opportunity to do another 4 years. Why?
Well, I
doesn't know.
I think
But do you know something? In fairness to Bokwari was a little bit coordinated, that Bokwari was not running away from public conversation, even though he was choosing which ones or which one. But whichever one that is really major, that's like, public town hall where other candidates will be there, Bukwari will be there. They have something called the candidates whenever they are choosing their candidates in Nigeria. So they are choosing their president in Nigeria. The candidate will go to a particular program called the candidates. Tinubu has run away from that. It's not Tinubu. It is the people around him. They are doing everything so desperately to cover up his inefficiencies, his dementia and others. So if you look at me and look straight into my eyes and say, Mayegun, that's your problem. He's going to be your president. I'm going to be, good luck with that. At least you are probably one of those who have survived the Bokwari APC, Egbekegbe, so far. You are still alive, Abi. Good luck with that. But the bottom line is this. Would you say all that are so obvious are not real? No, you won't say that. Because even Kalu himself, when he has just about a 40 seconds organized brain that he could speak, he confessed that, listen, I don't look at this social media. They are too scrutinizing. And yes, we are too scrutinizing, looking into everything. And where they shake, leg where they shake, anything where they shake, and the whole thing where not coordinate. You can't change that and begin to say, now we too they overreact. The man himself knows the truth. And he runs away from it all the time.
I don't read social media anymore. They abuse hell out of me. If I read it, I get high blood pressure. I get angry. I don't read it. So, if I want to hear anything, my children or any of my workers will tell me, this one say this one. If I'm tired, I say, please, forget it.
That's it. I know they talk a lot about me, but I get high blood pressure. I get so angry. Why are these children talking about me like this? Are these not the children I paid their WAEC fee, even though he didn't? But let's now say he did. Let's assume that he did. Okay, he did, partly. What are the results today when you now have 133 million poor Nigerians? In that bracket, you also have over 86 million Nigerians who are currently unemployed, and most of them unemployable. That's another one that some of you have actually not paid attention to. You have unemployed Nigerians, and you also have unemployable Nigerians. Some of you are graduates, 10 years, 15 years, 20 years. Some of you from that Lagos, who they paid your WAEC fee. Oshoba paid my own WAEC fee. And it was because they promised their free education. And my WAEC fee back then, and I think it was 1,200 naira in year 2000, okay? 1,200 naira. My school fees back then was 150 naira, even though I was poor. We were poor. I used to be the last person to pay the school fees until I got sent away, beaten and all that. Fine. But towards when I got to SS3, they decided that, okay, they are going to implement their 1999 promise in 2000. So we're the first beneficiary. I did our second, maybe. But majority of us, we can't get that WAEC. Some of us, eventually, some of us, because we were so poor, we never had to go ahead and go to the university or further it. Some of us actually furthered, got a different degree, this one and that one everywhere. And guess what? 20 years after that, or 22 years after that, I can tell you this free of charge. Many of us are now older. I'm 37. I've got some of my mates who are currently like maybe in their 40s, 42, 45. I mean, not 45, 42, 40. Sure you get. Now, I have those who are of that my age group who are now in that bracket of the unemployed, unemployable Nigerians today. Think about that if you are watching me right now. Sure you get. So those who suffered, to become graduates, many of them ended up as Okada riders. Some of them, like myself, we ended up away from Yoruba land because of what Nigeria finally showed us when we turned. When we were teenagers. The moment you're like, I'm a senior. Then you are a senior. Then, sorry about my clip, okay? It keeps doing that. I don't know what is, Give me a sec. I'm going to go fix it. I'm coming back.
And the only way out for us is to continue to do that in the next 4 years. This particular aspirant, as you all know, you can go and check it. The records are there. This is somebody that has been arrested for spending fake American dollars in a nightclub in America, and he's been detained for months. And he knows that he has won mock shots for months before this whole thing was quenched. He's also known that he doesn't have the competence to do what he's being propelled to do. The records are there in Bagara General Hospital. This is somebody that has gone for rehabilitation before. We don't want to go too far, but we know. Are we not? Now the truth is this. We don't want to talk about all the things that we know, but we know that, our leadership should have a rethink. Because the truth is this. I will not stand here on the mandate of Lagosians and then allow our great party APC to fritter away down.
Ambode, thank you very much for holding my microphone for me for a moment before. And I would really, really wish that my video is going to stop flicking. I'm sorry. Okay. I don't know if it is my voice that is making that happen or something else. No, that's not good. It is not good. Okay. I'm going to take another short break. A quick one. Don't go anywhere until I fix this. Anyway, let's manage it for a moment before I change it over. I'm going to do that in a moment. Okay. So we have so many of us who actually today are struggling after doing everything they were told to do. Go to school, do everything. All this thing you are suffering today, it is going to be to your own favor. Tomorrow, once you become a graduate, the story changed. And you know the story today. A lot of people having to even though it's almost the same all over the world, but the reward for all those hard work that you put into it, and compared to the opportunity you have access to as well, I will tell you that it was all almost for nothing. So the mentored Baba and those who are packaging him, they are the people who are giving us the talking point to further ask you to look into the lies. And if you build any expectation based on the lie, you shouldn't turn around and blame anybody and say, somebody pushed you or pushed this onto you and the rest, when you actually have other options too. In a way, unemployment in Nigeria is a serious thing. And as many people turn to political jobbers today, even the man that has the deepest pockets, the most money, his solution to end unemployment in Nigeria is actually this one.
And we are competing with armed robbers and the bandits to recruit from the youths who are unemployed. 33% unemployed. Recruit 50 million youths into the army and take away from their recruitment source. What they will eat? Cassava, àgbàdo, corn in the morning, yam in the afternoon. It's growing here. You create demand and consumption. For over 5 million army of boot camps. We create our food. That's money for the farmers. That's consumption for the soldiers and skill development. Don't call them illiterate. Don't talk about illiteracy. Anybody who can own gun, who can handle gun, who can cock gun and clean the chamber and cock and shoot,
is able to operate a tractor. See, if you are watching on Facebook and you see some Lagos Abobakus, Oshogbo Alimajiris, the humbled slaves, the obedient fools, the sophisticated morons, don't waste your energy on them. Listen, don't waste it. They have all metamorphosed into what we now call the bat idiots. And that is even worse than the Buhari idiots. Imagine when a bacteria or a virus mutates. They say it mutates. When it mutates and transforms to something more tougher, as they will say, suffer no dey tire people. And as it is, people destined for doom. In a way, you should not waste your energy on them. Some of them, the drug dealer, the drug baron, the money launderer for the drug dealers, Tinubu, is the example of leadership that they would love to associate with Yoruba. But look at me very well. Are you with me? The real Yoruba sons and daughters, they will tell you, they would never want to be associated with anyone or anything that has to do with drugs, that has to do with embezzlement, corruption for real. The real Yorubas will reject them. But you see all this dredge that you see, the criminals who have taken over the political space, the likes of Tinubu, kidnappers, looters, criminals, and the rest, they are their role models. Look at them one by one, including Willis, who ran away from the lunatic homes abroad, drug abusers, who have returned back to Nigeria to become their leaders. Let me tell you something. That is why you should never take them serious. They don't speak for Yoruba people. Unfortunately, the criminals they call their role models currently hold the levelers of power in Yoruba land. But I can tell you this, it is probably not going to be for long any longer. Are you with me? So if you are watching on Facebook and you see one Olori Bruko Omo Ali Jati Jati, that will always possibly ready to sell their father for any amount of porridge, no matter how small, We have seen it before. We see it all the time. These are the Olori Brukus who have taken over our political space in Yoruba land. These are the Olori Brukus who are backing the criminals who continue to what? To negotiate a terrible and terrible worst of the worst deals for the people of Yoruba land. When they share about the poverty of Nigeria, as rich as we're supposed to be, the Yoruba people ended up having to share the chunk of the unemployment, the poverty, the underdevelopment, and so on and so forth. The Olori Brukus who are parading themselves as your leaders in Yoruba land politically, they are comfortable with that. And with the crumbs falling off their tables, right? If you see any of these Omuali, Jatis on social media calling you Omuali because of Tinubu, don't sweat. Don't sweat. One of them was, let me tell you this, the one that is the governor in Lagos State. They told us that is fake dollar passer in America, a criminal. I'm talking about Sonwo-Iku. He is also a deranged somebody we get shoko. I didn't say that. They said that. And you cannot tell me that you know Sonwo-Iku more than Kode Abi, Umbo Kode again. You can't say you know them better, Abi. Now, when they talk about themselves, it's an opportunity for us to know that Olori Bruku, some of you are defending if you are not Olori Brukus like them. The governor, the one in Ogun State, is the former credit card fraudster in America. Stolen identity, dubious Dapo of Ogun State. When he did, it was actually like convict. What's be your name again? Bobby Brown. I'll be waiting be the name where in the beer for America. Then the governor of Ogun State right now, dubious Dapo. So when dubious Dapo finally became your governor, even though he is also one of the indicted subsidy criminals in Nigeria, those who looted your subsidy money. You remember? You don't, because some of you with little crumbs, your memory is completely lost. So don't waste your energy on them. Now, just within 2 years, there is another one. They call him Rufai. Bidemi Rufai. You remember his story? That guy that became PA to dubious Dapo, a notorious 419er in America. Yeah, you haven't read his story, Abi? He was contesting to be the House of Representatives member from Ijebu, in Abuja. Honorable. The Olori Bruku is a thief in America, stealing from the poor people in America. But in Nigeria, this Ashiris, this in your lessons that are calling you Omali because of Tinubu, their role models are criminals. And because they have the level of the political space today, that shouldn't stop you from speaking out as a Yoruba man. They don't speak for me. I'm a Yoruba man. They don't speak for me. And I don't think they speak for you too. They want to use politics. He actually told the American court, Rufai, he told the American court, he said, in Nigeria, where you are, it is normal to be corrupt. It is normal to be a criminal like that. Like it is natural, it's normal. And if you want to clean your criminality, go into politics. That is why he went into politics and he wasted so much money. Coronavirus came in America. They were giving money to the people affected by the coronavirus. The Olori Bruku PA to dubious Dapo in Ogun State, collecting $2,000 every month as salary. When some of you, the vuvu sellers, elebis, crumb eaters, crumb chasers, 10,000 naira, rogues on social media, some of you don't even get the 10,000 naira. You are so worse off that some of the time I just feel so sorry for you. The fraudster became PA when he lost his election under APC. All past criminals, all present criminals. Bidemi Rufai was collecting almost over $2,000 as salary in Ogun State for being PA to dubious Dapo. And on the side also, is collecting $50,000 if you want to see dubious Dapo for any criminal, whatever, arrange how you want to collect your own share and you go give him your own share. Seriously, true story. So if you see them on social media calling anybody Omali, look at the Olori Brukus that they are following. And look at the Olori Brukus, old and young, in different parts of Yoruba land. For example, look at the Olori Brukus that they are calling you Omali for. And look at Yoruba land and what they have done to Yoruba people. So don't waste your energy and be typing, you are mad. I get answer for them. When you see them face to face, tell them, if And I mean, if you are looking for ọmọ àlè, ọmọ ìrankíran, àwọn ọmọ ojú ọ̀rọ̀ lárí tó ń pera wọn ní ọlá níran. The ones that believe that stealing from the people, right, is quite your right. And then you can give them crumbs and just to show that, God blessed you to steal from them. Àwọn ọmọ ìrankíran, àwọn alápámáṣiṣẹ́, the lazy bums that the system created to feed from the crumbs. Show it to them, that they don't speak for you wherever you see them. But stop typing and wasting that. Okay, I bet this one is enough for you. So we know the criminals. We know all of them. Dig into them. Look into them very well. And then when you speak out, they will say, but that was then now. He who never committed the sin should cast the first stone. That first stone will kill you. With that nonsense religious madness that some of you love to throw into it quickly when you want to defend your Olori Buruku leader. So call us Somali, call this, but just tell them to look in the mirror. Egbon, ewo mirror. Omo Ale Yoba is the one that we say is against Tinubu. Egbon, ewo mirror. Aye yin ti ta pa o. Konti money. Anyway, talking about the poverty, the weaponization of poverty, the effect of this weaponization on all of us, whether you support them or you don't, we all share in this. The consequences of this Olori Burukus Radaradas that will defend the criminals who have made life a hell for them. And even if they are like a dying relics, you should never be the one to cower under the bullish, no matter what they use, the word, the physical, whatever. You must be bold enough with what you know and say, Abayi Efetani. As Omo Yoruba, we are Yoruba, we are Igbo, we are this and that, we are Christians. If you say that quickly, just let them know, say, Omo, Abiti Efe Bajeni. Are you trying to because I'm a Yoruba, show mad? Automatically, you will see their true picture because it is not actually because of Yoruba. It is not because of Igbo. It is not because of anyone. Whatever agenda you put up, you are just setting yourselves up. None of them is in any way related to Nigeria. But build agenda, build this, build that. If anybody won't come, they try to profile you because of these rogues. Babako change here for one, you self change them for them. I'm talking about the physical one. No, not too nice. Or if they won't take them too far, you know what to do. Walk away. It's not really worth it. But at the end of the day, there is a two-way to it, or two things that will come out of this. You following these relics and the consequences of what is coming, you should, at the same time with your choice, pick and remember what the consequences of your choices will be. You should know that there will be consequences. Elections, they say, have consequences. With your own charade, it has many consequences. In this case, you are not going to be spared. But as for you, who is not actually jumping into the bandwagon of this charade, having heard all you know, having known what you know, listen to me. You can also prepare yourself for the consequences of this whole thing because it's going to be brutal and it's never going to separate anyone from another, except for those who probably are prepared. There are those who are prepared for what is likely going to happen eventually when they force you down this road. Tifnumbu, Atifko, or even Obi. Because it is mostly, if you know, the characters of the antecedent of the characters forcing and telling you about this election, that actually means something. But at the same time, they don't actually matter in the scheme of things when it comes to the fraudulent system called Nigeria system, which is different totally from whatever feeling you are having right now, that you feel like the moment Bokwari is out, Kolu comes in, Atiku comes in or Obi comes in, then the whole thing is going to, nah. That is one of the one of the worst naivety I can say. Naivety that I can say that people are expressing, including yourself. Nothing is going to change. Nigeria system is put in place for the selected minute few, while the majority are going to remain just statistics that just serve as servitude, and you can die, perish, ruined. It doesn't really change the scheme of things until the entire system itself actually goes down. So you knowing all of this, not investing your emotion, your energy, your resources into any of this charade, at the same time, you must be prepared. Because when this whole thing comes crashing, like this period of Bukwari that has spared no one, whether you supported them or not, more people have been killed in the last 7 years than what you have seen in the last 12 years of the terrorism in Nigeria. It has become a big industry. You have lived to see that. People are no longer just being killed in a particular part of the country. People are being killed with the same mode of operation, what called MO, with the same style, all over the place. Like, and it could happen anytime. That used to be something that is so impossible. Now, the system allowed it. It is just going to build on it. And the result of that is that whether you supported them or you didn't support them, at the end of the day, you are just a minute or a moment away from becoming a victim of what Nigerian system represents. And this is the bigger picture, the one that says, since you know, listen, you must then be prepared for the backlash or the fallover of this old bubble of one Nigeria. They can't keep it together for too long. The poverty is escalating. More people are now poorer. In 7 years of APC, using number, we now have 133 million people living in extreme poverty. Do you know what that means? It simply means that the people are going to go to bed. A lot of family are going to bed tonight, including children, without food. That's not something that would ever help your mental development. And no wonder, look at the population, look at the people. When you begin to speak to them about, or you begin to talk to them about something so important, they have no mental capacity to engage you in a very, not all of them, I'm just saying, the vast population have no mental capacity. They have no patience. They have nothing that it takes to engage in any productive conversation. Because most thing that they care about is, how am I going to feed tonight? What am I going to give my children tonight? How am I going to pay my house rent this end of this month? What am I going to give to, they are more worried about what is it going to be like to go to bed tonight without food. Is it going to be like last night? Last week? What is it going to be like? These are the things that bother them than other things that some of us talk about here, technically and otherwise, that you'll be like, oh, that's sensible.